Hey everyone. For my lesson plan, I decided to go through with middle school and high school students at the church I work at. I'm a student pastor at my church. So I decided to go with the students and go through with them the names of God or some of the names of God, and not just study what those names mean, but see how it also relates back to Jesus, because in these names we're able to see characteristics of God, and we can go and look at the life of Jesus and the Gospels and see different see these characteristics also within Jesus. So it has been really cool, and it was really exciting to go through these names and just see how it all kind of relates and works back together. So the name we looked at tonight was it means the God who hears. So we studied how God is he's a God that hears us, and that was kind of the whole point of all these names that I want to go through with them, was to see that God is not a distant God, but a God that is invested in our lives and wants to be invested and wants to know us, and He wants to hear us and talk to us. So we kind of just started off by introducing the topic and engaging them, trying to get them in conversation and relate to them with just having moments talking about, when we get frustrated all the time, people vent in their cars and just scream, and they get real upset about things, but they really want somebody to be able to hear them as well. So we kind of just introduced the topic, got a few laughs from some funny stories about that, which was really nice. But then we got into the passage and into the name and just saying, hey, that God is a God that actually hears us. We took the name out of Exodus, and it was during the time where the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, and God could hear the moanings and the groanings and the cries of their heart and the conditions they found themselves in. And so we went and studied through that and saw that God heard them and listened to them, and right after that He called Moses to go lead them out of Egypt. And so God was not just one that heard them, but took action and followed in through His promises and through His covenant and all those kinds of things. And then we looked back through some New Testament passages and some other, looked at David too, and just see how all of these other references throughout Scripture look and see how God actually does hear us and listen to us. And so it was really cool to go through those names and then see how Jesus was the most fulfilled thing, where God could hear the biggest need of our hearts, and that was an answer to our sin and that need and cry for salvation, and God provided it through Jesus. And so we went through a whole study and asked questions, and it was really good to go through that. I was super excited about it because I think it's a really cool study. But looking at how the study actually went, going through it with students, they were very engaged in conversation, which was really encouraging, which if you go through Bible studies with students is not always the case. We had to fight through a little bit at first, asking a question, trying to get them involved, so it wasn't just like me talking the whole time. But getting them involved was a little awkward, silence at first, but it was good. They ended up getting really involved in the conversation, and it was real nice. They seemed to grasp the overall point of what we were trying to talk about. So that was really encouraging. And then they gave the evaluation sheets, just looking at those, and they thought I was well prepared coming into it, had all the background information we needed and the context and all that kind of stuff. So that was good. But one thing that I feel like I'm doing it right now, but they said I talked a little too fast, which was something I do all the time when I'm studying, like giving lessons and leading Bible studies and all that kind of stuff. But they seemed to grasp it, which was real nice, and they seemed to just overall just understand it. So it went really well. So thank you guys.